Hi again, everyone. This is Becky Reed on Joy's team, and I am here. I want to welcome another caller to our, let's try again. I want to welcome you to another call with the Successful Preschool Owner. Today on our call, we have Amanda Lindsay, and her preschool is called EduKids Online Preschool, and she has four students now, 5 students in 2 different classes. And we are excited to get to know you a little bit better. So welcome, Amanda.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So let's start off by just finding out how you got the idea of starting a preschool.
Oh my, well, for some time, I've always wanted to be an educator. I've always wanted to be a teacher of small children. And so that's what I've been doing. That's the only job that I've had. Every job had something to do with babies and children. And so that's pretty much how I started. And I've been with the school. I was with the school for almost 20 years. And so last year was is when I resigned.
Awesome. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So how did you, so you've always liked children and you worked in what kind of a school, like an elementary school or?
Yes, in elementary school. I worked in daycare. I've worked in a private school in Illinois. And so that's pretty much the schools and the different types of schools that I've worked in.
Awesome.
My career.
So, but never a preschool. So what made you decide to do preschool?
Oh my goodness. It wasn't until I met Joy Anderson because I never thought about that. I just did not think of that before. Even I had mentioned that I wanted to open up a daycare. And because I love children, but I never thought about the responsibilities and the stress and the burden and the sacrifice. I didn't think about that. I just wanted to open up a daycare center. And so it wasn't until I met Joy that it was like, light bulb, I can open up a preschool. And so I'm an ESL teacher at this point now. And so I started doing that maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I said, I can do this for myself. Yeah. And so it really, really just led the path into creating this preschool and learning about Joy. And so it just worked out perfectly for me. Yep.
Awesome. I love that. Okay. So how did you hear about Joy then? How did you find her?
On Facebook. Facebook. I was just scrolling through and, in groups and different things. And I happened to see, Joy Anderson's ad, or it was something that I can't even remember at this point, but it said, get a free book. I'm like, okay, come on now, a free book. So I got the book. Exactly. What's free? And so I paid the shipping. I was so excited. I did not put the proper information in. I just put my card in and eventually I got the book. But I was so excited and I was just so like, okay, this could possibly be it for me. And so, so I found her on social media.
Awesome. So after you saw her ad, where did you go from there?
Oh man, I think I just followed her online. I reached out and got into the group, I believe, the free group. And then I just started with the 7-day challenge. And oh my goodness, my mind was blown away with just how much I was able to do in 7 days. Like, whoa, like out in the world. But I was just so excited. It just started a new path for me. And just the path that I never thought that I really could do.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. So you did the challenge, and at the end of the challenge, what did you do after that?
Oh man, I purchased a preschool in a box. I got into All Stars, and immediately just started working on my preschool and putting things in place, and the legal part of things, and the technical part of things, and all of that. But I did exactly what she told us to do.
So what's your favorite part of either being in All Stars or Preschool in a Box? What's your favorite thing about it?
Well, initially my favorite thing, because I just look at myself as like a taskmaster. I like to take those big jobs and kind of break them down. And so when I saw the way that Joy laid out the 7-day process, it just made it seem so easy. And it was like just taking little bites off of a big a mound of work that we needed to complete. And so I love that part of it. And then the preschool in the box, I just love that it encompasses everything you need. If you're looking to do an online, I'm planning on moving in a couple years to Georgia. And I'm telling my husband, like, okay, I could really just put everything in a box, take it to Georgia with me and do this at home. And then look for a site so I can open up my own preschool. So it's so versatile. Yes. And you have everything you need. Yep. I love it.
Absolutely. Okay. So you told us a little bit, well, what was life like for you before you started your preschool?
So, like I said, I was at a school for almost 20 years, and I consider myself a great worker, a diligent worker. And so I was very diligent throughout my time there, but I really felt like it was just something else for me to do. There has always been something else for me to do. And even though I I felt like I was a great worker and I was faithful and to my job and doing it to the best of my ability, I wasn't able to move up. I wasn't given any more opportunities to grow. And although I was in an educational institution, they, to me, did not promote growth.
Oh, okay.
And so eventually
you felt a little stuck then, huh?
Absolutely. I felt stuck and I felt like, there's no way for me to move. And so I did that for 20 years and I enjoy it because, you just can't take the love of children out, but you can put it in a different place and use it at home or, wherever it is. So anyway, I did that. And it wasn't until I received one email. We received many, many emails, thousands, millions of emails in our lifetime. But there was one email that became a catalyst to my moving forward and to just having the faith to step out. And that was an email that said, hey, after 20 years, you've been laid off.
Oh my.
And so that right there, I just felt like, okay, I'm just a body. I'm just a wonderful body that's faithful. And so I said, that really made me begin to advocate for myself, for my family, and just to turn my ears, my eyes, my heart open so that I can just receive what it was, whatever my next was. I was ready to receive it at that point.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. That is a low of a low, right?
It really, really. And I was thinking even today that both of my girls were premature. Both of my girls were 2 pounds and 1 ounce, 2 pounds, 1 ounce, 2 pounds, 5 ounces. And during this time that I was at this location, I had my youngest daughter. And after my daughter had to stay in the hospital for 3 months. And after some time, maybe a month or two, I received a phone call. Hey, are you ready to come back? I said, no. And had I had preschool,
another option. Yeah.
Yes. If I had another option, I wouldn't have had to have that burden of, okay, do I do this? What do I do? But I tell you, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful for it being in my life right now. And it's perfect. It's perfect.
Awesome. That is amazing. It's true. So many just don't feel like they have any other options.
Right.
Awesome. So when you were starting your preschool, did you have any kind of discouragements or any self-doubt start creeping in?
I think because I've had this thing of, when you've been in a certain time and certain place for such a long period of time, you get that complacency. You get that like, okay, I'm comfortable. I'm cool. And that's how I felt. And so it was that self-doubt that just crept in, and it could have slowed me down, but I just did not allow it. And so it was just doubt and just that comfort of, okay, I don't know what tomorrow is. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to do it anyway. So it was just that doubt that I had to fight against. Yes.
Right. So that just doing something different that's uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then you just kind of have to push through it, right?
Yep. Yep. I mean, like seriously, like exercising my faith and just say, okay, I really don't know what tomorrow looks like. I don't know what my check looks like. It's amazing that just that comfort when it's gone or when it's in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
When you've taken control and say, hey, I'm going to do this myself. It's a little scary, but you know what? I had to push forward.
Yep.
I had to do it. Yep.
So do you have like a mantra or a saying that you tell yourself when you have those self-doubts coming in?
No, because I've been in church all of my life, and, my family, scriptures and different things that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Mm-hmm. All of those things that just would motivate me, and to my family and my friends who are there to support me. So that's what really got me through those rough times.
I love it. Yeah. Leaning on what we know.
Yes.
Who we have. Absolutely. Okay, so you've been teaching at a school in person, and then now you're going to do it online. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of things that you have to kind of think about. So what about like the tech side of teaching online? What were some of your struggles with technology?
Oh my goodness. First of all, I'm not a technical person. I'm not an online. I'm not really, I'm only on social media for whatever purpose I need to be there. And then I'm off. Yeah. And so when I first started my school, the first week was really rough. It was like, okay, how do I do Zoom and where do I look? And, that was a lot for me. But eventually, I was able to find the class and to do, it was a lot though. It was a lot. Yeah. But, eventually I kind of got, the hang of things. And then, when your computer updates, that's a whole nother situation too.
Always at the wrong time, right?
Absolutely. But, eventually I got the hang of it. And so I wouldn't consider myself a champ, but I'm working through it.
Right. Yeah. So you think you overcame it just by doing it and learning it?
Yep. I think by doing, you become an overcomer just by doing. By doing it. Yep.
An overcomer. I like that. Okay. So how about advertising and finding students? What's been your struggle with that?
That is, I think, because I'm not necessarily a social media type of person, and I have never been. That's a struggle that I'm having, just putting myself out there. And but I think with the social media, the things that Joy just,
the Facebook
ads and the posts and all of those things that she created for us, that's really going to help me out a lot, because it kind of gives me a portrait and I can kind of stand behind it.
Right.
And so that's where I struggle, just the putting myself out there, the marketing and yeah. So that's what I'm working through.
Awesome. Okay, so how about teaching? There's many struggles with teaching online because you're used to doing it the other way. What struggles have you had with teaching?
So I as an in-person teacher, I believe that I'm firm but fun.
Okay.
I love that energetic, that lively, controlled atmosphere.
Right.
I like that. And so venturing into this online, I love for my children to have their microphones off.
Yeah.
I like that and I want to, of course, I've got to go over the rules every day and kind of lay down that foundation and the groundwork. And that's okay with me. And, but it's just having that control and knowing, okay, this is not working. We're going to switch over to doing, to this. Right. And so it's knowing when to pivot big time and to change it all up. And so I think that that's something that I'm learning and struggling. but I think I'm on a better end of learning and being flexible.
Awesome. Love it. So maybe going back to what you were doing with, before I got into teaching, before I was finished, what's your favorite marketing tool that you maybe have, or marketing strategy that you've used?
I don't know. I just like to, I don't know.
So that's kind of where your struggle is, right?
Yes.
Not sure what to do. I just interviewed another lady who'd been a teacher for a long, long time, and she said, I didn't have to look for kids; they just stuck them in my class.
Right.
I never had to like go get them; they just were there.
I mean, seriously, that's something that I'm really struggling with, and I have to, work that out.
Right.
That's something I really need to think about, because the teaching part and having fun and doing this, and that's okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
But it's that marketing portion that I'm really
yeah. Well, let's maybe talk about that in a minute. So let's talk a little bit more about your teaching background. So what is you taught for 20 years, you did daycare and private schools, but what's your, do you have a degree? What degree do you have?
So I have an associate's degree in early childhood education. And then I have my bachelor's in organizational management, because I wanted to venture off into opening up my own daycare.
Okay.
And so, and then of course, many different certifications and, different things that I acquired while I was in my,
Right. And one of those was like the English second language, ESL, is that right?
Yes.
So you have the ESL certificate. So you kind of worked in that too. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So how about like the business side? How was that? What struggles did you have with business?
I think that I think that portion of it is going well, because I've kind of really followed the instruction that Joy laid out for us, and I really do not deviate from it. Okay. I don't touch it. Because, working in school, I've never had to think about the business portion of it. And so I just pretty much follow directions and leave it as it is until I get my next command to do something else. Right. Seriously. I mean, because that's an area that I've never had to think about.
Right.
So yeah, I love the instructions that she's laid out for us.
All right. I know for many people, like, especially if you're an educator, you're like, I just learned to teach. I didn't have to worry about that, right?
Yep.
That's someone else's job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. So what do you think, has there been a moment that that was like your biggest screw up, where you're like, oh my goodness, I totally messed that up? Have you had a moment like that?
Not yet.
Good.
Not yet that I would think that is like, okay, oh Lord. I have not had that yet. Thank God.
Good. Awesome. Okay, so thinking back to before you started your school, and it wasn't that long ago, and how life was and all of that, to now having your preschool, how has this blessed your life and your family's life?
Oh my, the freedom is amazing. The freedom to, okay, I want to talk about this, or, of course we have our lesson plan and the preschool in the box and all of those things, but you still have flexibility. Mm-hmm. And so just the ability to kind of incorporate what I've already known into what I'm learning, it just creates this wonderful mesh of education for me. And as far as our household, my home, I mean, just being home, my husband's like, oh, I love having you home when I get here. It just allows time for more talking, more coming together, more like that stress level is down, and even though my preschool is not like a 6-figure preschool yet, and nobody is in education looking for 6 figures. Right. Wrong field. But, I'm not saying that it's not possible. And, but it's like this stress of like, I'm home. I'm here with my family. I have some flexibility. Man, it's wonderful to pick up my iPad and go show my kids, let's go outside.
Yeah.
One day we started our class outside.
That's awesome.
Because most of them are in the South, Mississippi and Florida. Okay, how often do they see snow?
Yeah.
I'm in Illinois. And so, I mean, it's those type of little bitty moments that I treasure, you know, and it's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing for us. Yep.
That is awesome. So is there anything else you would like to share with others who are thinking about starting an online preschool? Any tips?
Oh my, I would say if you, for one, have a heart for children, if you have a heart and that's your passion, this is an excellent field to be in and an excellent direction to twist education into, because so many of us think of education as in this box, four walls, but we have learned, and I've learned so far, that you can do anything. And there are no windows, no doors. It's open. It's open. And it's such an amazing blessing. And I would say, just do it. And do it with Joy Anderson.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Oh, I love it. So, Amanda, as you're looking forward to like the next year or two, what do you think, where do you see your school growing? What are some of your goals to make happen?
Well, first of all, I'm going to work on marketing so that I can grow my school. My plan is to partner up with churches in urban areas. And so partner up with churches and also daycares and see if I can be kind of like that liaison between school for those children who are maybe apprehensive about going to school, parents who may be a little apprehensive about sending their children to school now in the time that we're living in. I'm here. And so I can take on a whole junior choir and put them in my class. And so that's my plan. That's my passion. That's where I want to go. In a couple of years, I'm going to be moving to Georgia because my little girl is going to be going to college. And so I'll be closer to my oldest daughter and my parents, who just recently moved, and my twin sister. And so I just plan to put everything in a box and take my preschool there and find a site so that I can open up a preschool, a site, and hire some people so that I can expand my school.
So in the next couple of years, you want to grow it, try to get some people connections to find more people and help more people. Yes. And then maybe your big goal, like by 5 years, have a building, hire teachers.
Absolutely.
That's what your kind of big time goal is. Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. And it totally can happen.
Yes, I've seen so many testimonies, and you guys who have just really paved the way and have shown us that, hey, this is possible. Totally possible. So I'm so encouraged.
Yes, it's pretty awesome. Okay, so now we're going to do like this, breakout session and talk about one of the things you're struggling with. So do you want to talk about marketing, or what do you want to talk about?
Sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
So what do you think is holding you back when it comes to marketing and finding people? What do you think is the one spot that you're like, I could just figure this out?
Like just knowing what to say.
Okay.
Knowing what to say. That's pretty much it. And just, that's it. Knowing what to say.
Okay. So you feel like if you knew how to like talk about yourself, or like what people are wanting, like,
yes. Knowing, like, I guess, putting together the flyers or putting together the ads and knowing what are those not pain points, but those pain points that parents are, struggling with, and to tap into those areas that would trigger, the need.
Right. So I think if you look back to your experience and what you've heard of other women like you that were either educators or you're stuck in a job or all those kinds of things. And then all of a sudden there's this ad that seems to say exactly what you're thinking. You're like, how does she know? Right. And so how she knows is that she asks, she's like, what are you hating about your job? Or, what are you scared about with sending kids back to school? Because you kind of talked about that a little, trying to find those parents that maybe don't want to send their kids back to school. And so even just being able to she asks the questions and then she makes her ads from that. Okay. She asks, what are you afraid of? What do you struggle with? What, is stopping you? All those kinds of things. And so if you're able to kind of either whatever way is comfortable with you, because you say you don't live on social media. And so that's not really your way of communicating, but even just like asking people that you are around, what are your social groups that you're around, and just like say, hey, I'm trying to figure out what people are really needing. What do you think? What is, why would you not want to send your kid back to public school, or, other questions like that? What are your concerns with, how kids are being taught and what they're learning, and, and try to figure out what those pain points are by asking questions to the people you're comfortable with, So if social media is like, I don't know, I have like 5 friends on social media, what is that going to do? But I have huge groups of people that you hang out with, or family, or, where are your people? Where are your circles of influence? And just start asking those questions and kind of go, oh, I never thought about that, because when you start asking the questions, then you'll be able to go, oh, that's not my concern, but I could see how that's their concern, right? And you don't have tiny kids right now, right? Your kids are grown. And so you're not in that world of the mindset of a parent with that age of children. If you can find those people wherever they are, and find out what their concerns are, and then you can market to it. So that's why she had these ladies who would say why they hated being a daycare owner. And they can speak to the daycare owner people who are like, yeah, I am so burnt out. There's another way, right? And so I think just kind of first reaching out to those people that are around you, finding out what their needs are. And then another way is to also look at, what do I have to offer? What makes me unique? And so I think sometimes people have a hard time with themselves saying, I'm good at this, because that's like not to not be prideful. Right. Boast about ourselves, right? And so it's hard to step back and kind of think, what are your strengths? What do you have to give? And we're always harder on ourselves, right?
Because I think I'm thinking too much. I think that I'm putting too much thought into it. And even the way you just said it, and I think it's just like, just natural, like just the regular. So I think I'm thinking way too much about it. Yeah.
Just be honest about, I sitting here listening to you talk about your passion and your love, and to feel this excitement and joy come out of you is contagious. I just sat here and just smiled at how much joy and happiness is coming out of you. So just share that joy, that happiness, and your desire to help and to guide kids. And then look for those questions and see what those pain points are, and how can you solve it with what your strengths are, not what everybody else is doing, but what can you do that is going to help that person, and there's tons of schools, right? And there's tons of people, but there's so many people in the world. There's enough to go, right? Exactly. And so who and who you're connected to are going to reach out to you, and then they're going to share, and then it just keeps going there, right?
Absolutely.
And so, and you have some strengths. Look at, what were you great at teaching when you did your teaching? What certificates do you have that make you unique that others might not have? And use that to help people see, that's kind of that niche. You can be super niche-y and be like, and somewhat almost limiting yourself, or you can just, say, I have this to offer to kids to help get them ready for school, and I have these strengths that I focus on, that will help them overcome whatever those challenges are, or whatever, those things that you're going to hear, you know, like parents, I'm worried that they're not going to know how to read, or I'm worried about this or that, or whatever.
Right.
You know? So that's what I would suggest. I hope that serves you.
Absolutely. 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 Because I even in my, especially before, you know, last year and everything, I was tutoring children, and I was going to their home throughout the week. And so I'm like, okay, this is tutoring, right? I mean, this is
the same.
Yes. So and that's good. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was helpful. Yes.
I'm glad that was helpful. So, but thank you so much, Amanda. I feel your energy, your happiness, your joy. I'm so glad that you found this option for yourself, family, and it's going to be amazing. You're going to do amazing things. So good luck.
Thank you.
I will see you in All Stars. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Becky.
You're so welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.